Hello and welcome. Coming back to session 8 of my testing and proof of concept. Um, so life has gotten a little bit crazy. All last week, I did not do anything in regards of back testing. I did hop on the charts a few times and was looking for particular things. Nothing actually set up, so there were no trades that were actually taken last week. Um, and then here we are in Tuesday of this week, Tuesday, August 2nd. Um, and yeah, I haven't really been doing anything as well. Um, Life, as many of you know, sometimes gets in the way of your plans. And so you just have to shrug it off and continue moving forward. Um, I think so. I did have it in my mind to go a little bit differently going forward. I'm for the test of concepts for this proof of concept for the higher time frame candles to close in the directions of the previous candles. I am looking to prove it to myself, to anybody else who's watching, that if you can uh, get the concept down right, if you understand where to be looking, then it is very, very possible to get into some really good trades. Um, and so I'm going to actually open it up to all the major and minor pairs. I'm going to stay away from the exotics. So I think I have about 28 pairs here, um, but I'm going to trim it down, not the pairs. I'm going to trim down the processed to really sticking with the 50% as a zone to mark. Um, and then going that route. So I'm going to 50% is the zone to mark. Um, and then basically I will put alerts at every zone. I believe I should be able to put alerts at every zone. I don't remember which program, which plan I am on in TradingView. I think I have the premium one. I guess I can look. I believe I can put yeah, I am in premium, so I can put alerts on every single one, and I should be fine with that. And then basically, what it will do is tomorrow I will look at the ones where the alerts hit, and we'll go check those um, and see how those played out. Would they have given us an entry as far as double bottoms, double tops, any sort of like head and shoulders, any sort of multiple wick rejections, anything like that that could line up? Because that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to go for double bottoms, head and shoulders, multiple wick rejections. And I have particular rules for those. So one of the other ideas that I'm also going with is also like particular lessons and sessions that I've learned all throughout the years of doing this on particular things and running through the concepts. Just in case there's anybody who doesn't understand when I say a double bottom, a double top, or a head and shoulder, what that actually means. What does it look like? What does it look like to me? And how I use it. And so let's go ahead and just get started. So I'm going to be looking at just from the start, we're going to be going odd CAD. Once again, we're going the daily time frame, looking to mark up the open, the close. I want to know the particular direction I'm looking for, just so when I get down to the lower time frame, I don't get caught up in anything that's going on. It's just looking for this stuff here. So 50%, the only area we really have is this right here. So leaving that right there, that's what we'll go with. And then I like using the ray or a line. The reason being, and I mean, maybe somebody can comment a different way. But once I'm done, if for some reason price leaves this area and never comes back, the delete button will erase this alert. Whereas if you put an alert like so, the delete button does not erase that alert. And as far as I know, outside of going to the actual alerts, there's no nice way to um, to delete it, just in case you have multiple alerts on same pairs, but it's on different feeds. different broker feeds or whatever, then you won't be deleting them all. You'll just be deleting the one that you're looking at here. So that's one of the reasons why I like to use this one as well. The other idea that I like about using this, which I don't know, crossing inside greater than value. Yep. Okay. So the other reason I like using any sort of line is because you get a few different options as far as when it's going to alert you. And so if you are looking for a break of a particular structure, a break and close below a particular structure, you could set an alert there to only tell you when the bar closes. So it doesn't matter if price flings all the way down here and then whips back up. You didn't actually get a break of structure. You have a long wick now, and it wouldn't have alerted you for that. It'll only alert you whenever you get a actual close on the other side of this line, as well as once per bar, once only. And so like, there's a couple different options that you get that you don't get with this one. And so I prefer the an alert on an object versus a price alert, just because of the different options. So get rid of that one. So there's that for odd CAD. Go look at odd CHF. Same thing. Mark up the high, mark up or open and close. Set that down. Looking for a 50% retracement area. Go down to the 30-minute time frame. Measure out what we got. That lines up pretty too, but here's where we seem to have the most struggle. And so we'll set it in this area here. Add an alert, create. Move it over just in case price happens to spike up there. The idea being, currently this candle is pushing bullish, even though we're expecting it to go bearish. But the idea being, as soon as it comes up here and rejects this area, this on the daily is the wick, would just be the wick. And so we're getting a bullish candle right now, but we're just looking for this wick to come back and be created. See, like these ones have these wicks. We're looking for that wick to be created, and then the momentum to continue down as the last previous daily candle. So moving to the next one, same thing. And so this one's actually interesting. We have a bearish candle, but then we have this really small body and really big rejection wick. So what does that look like? Who knows? Here we really don't have anything. And so how is this going to work? That's a good question. If we use previous price action, then we have a zone here, which would fit a break and retest sort of strategy, which would be able to put a safe stop loss over that way. And if price is going to continue down, then we'll catch it. We'll see about that one. So put a entry there. And so I'm just going to continue going through, and then I will get back to you, and I'll just show you all the highlights of all these. That way you're not just sitting through all this. You'll be able to see all the 30-minute zones that I've drawn up, and we'll go back through that. So leaving off with odd JPY. All right, so back, marked up all my zones and everything like that. We've already had a few alerts that have gone off. I mean, some of them I was already marking the alert up while it happened. So let's see what happens as far as, do I get double bottoms, double tops, head and shoulders, multiple wick rejections, that sort of thing. So I believe we already went through these ones right here. I think we ended with odd JPY is where that one was at. So odd NZD, expecting this to go down. It's already shot through it. This is probably one of the alerts that have already gone off. So it's already invalidated this zone, and I really have nothing else to work with. as far as maybe this area up here um, as being a last point of testing the high of the daily range of the daily candle. Um, so, we'll see how that plays out. How do we, let's see, where do we have any examples of that where the wick comes up, tests the previous level, and then shoots the other direction? So you'd actually get a really long wick. Um, I mean, that's not long like that one, but I mean, it shot past but yeah, so yeah, I think you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So yeah, that one's probably not going to play out pretty nicely. So we'll leave that one alone. I am not sure what stemmed that, if there was anything news related. 6:45 NZD. Okay, yeah, NZD had some news. Um, and so there is that reaction to the news. The question is, okay, the news was done, it's over with. Do we still expect price to go down? Well, this is a solid place for it to go. So it was only 6:45 is when that news came out. Give it another 30 minutes or so, um, 15, 30 minutes to calm down and see what's going to go on. And if you get another wick rejection here, then there's a high probability. I said 4 hour, but it's a high probability that the next day, given what has happened the previous days, it could still go down. Just we just have a small bump in the 30-minute because of news. And so cool. So we'll see how this one plays out. And then we'd be looking for multiple wick rejections in this area before putting in a trade, and taking it from there. So odd USD, back in this area here, waiting for it to come back up if it does. CAD CHF, two areas, only because break and retest, break and retest. It's break. We have a retest here. So if we can come back down here to test this area again as like a double bottom, that would be a viable area. It would still create a little wick given this really strong push right here. Sometimes it doesn't always come back, but here's the other area. So, I mean, by all technicality, if you wanted to be really, really safe and you got your entry there, but you still wanted to make sure you had a safe stop loss and expecting the candle to go, expecting the candle to continue bullish, then I mean that's a 1-to-1 to get to break even, and so that's not a bad option. So we'll see how that one goes. Looking at that one, see how that plays out. CAD JPY, just have a zone down there. I didn't have much to work with, so I went with this little hesitation area here for 30 minutes. Price just hung around in this area around here. So if price comes back and finds any sort of support based upon previous price action, then there's a high probability that this would be a safe spot to put your stop loss with the expectation of price is going to go north. Um, this one was a bit ugly. So here is one of those daily candles that has that really long wick. And I know I said I was going to stick to the 50%. Let me throw in the 50% of the wick area too, just because time after time, and this one's probably not going to be nice enough to show me anything that I want to see. Time after time, when you have a strong wick rejection, you generally have about a 50% retracement of that wick before it continues up in the other direction. Although this is in the wrong direction, but you understand what I mean as far as how price tends to play out. Same thing here. You usually have a really strong reaction to the wick area. This went a whole lot further, but so I drew in that zone, both zones, one at the 50% area, but it doesn't really give me much. The only one I can work with is this one down here. But I guess I focused on this one instead. So let me move this up here. We'll see how price responds to this one. And then if all else fails, come down here for this one. Euro AUD, expecting price to come back down here, possibly get a double bottom before shooting back up. Euro CAD, Price is just dangling down here. We're waiting for a nice move up before a rollover, hopefully to the south sells. Um, this is another one of those ugly ones. It's like, where do you put in a zone here that seems clean, and not, or at least more widely respected than it has been before, and it doesn't look like anything works here. You could, if you're really, really, really desperate, put something in right here. But at what point in time do you count this zone as being broken, not respected, violated, anything like that? This zone up here, on the other hand, which would be the part of the wick area, as you can see, this would all be wick. Here would be the open of the candle. There would be the close of the candle. So all this up here above this line is wick. But this area here was semi-violated with some pins passed, but never closed above it. Finally broke above it, came back, respected it, did a little bit, and then has come down below it now, and has not come up to it again and violated. So if it comes back up, there's probably a high likelihood that you could get a response. And then once again, given the previous daily candle, we're expecting the next candle to also go into a sell. So we're looking for it to close bearish. So that's my area up there. Euro GBP, still once again unclean, nothing there. I think we get pretty much the understanding as I continue going through these on where some of them make sense. You can see as structure lines up, where it lines up, where I'm looking at. So the idea being is as we get closer and closer to price hitting those areas, we wait to see how price responds, and then basically mark the trade from that one. This one was a beautiful one that would be interesting to mark up. So we have the 50% area up here, but then we also have a strong break and retest. Given that one, you could have a pretty safe stop loss after you get this strong wick rejection right here. You could have had a pretty safe stop loss above that wick rejection, even if, once again, using that same concept of a 50% retracement to test this area. So even if the candle came back up another 50% of this wick here on the lower time frames, the 15, 5, 1 minute areas, for anybody who's like scalping those areas down there, they'd be looking at a zone somewhere down there for their possible sell entries. And so price could get up here in wick and then finally roll over. And so given this area here, you would have been already at break even, and then shooting for a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is, so 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's not bad. That is the current wick of the candle, of the daily candle. That is what that wick is right there. So when we actually come back to the 30-minute, if I scroll this out all the way to the next day so we can see it on the daily, we actually see that this is what that ends up looking like. And so that's very, very viable. We'll see how that one actually plays out. So there's NZD CAD, CHF or JPY. Wait. So this is one of the ones that alert has gone off. I have a 30-minute zone here. This would be on the wick area again, because once again, the body is right here. There wasn't really much to work with, nor did price leave this area to give me anything to work with anyway. So the next area is this area right here. This would be about 50% of the wick area. The only other area would possibly be this. This is the cleanest respected zone there. But it looks like it's just busted through and hasn't respected it anyway. So unless we get, I don't know, I'd be hard pressed after this move here to see anything play out, but we'll see how it plays out. This could be another viable area. You just move your alert down there and see how it plays out. but if you don't get an entry, you don't get an entry. You just move on. So see how that goes. This one was the same thing as one of the other ones. Don't remember which one. But you have the 50% zone up here, um, as well as a break and retest zone. And so, like, I'm waiting for the break and retest zone. Um, I generally try to stick away from just the immediate touches of breaks and retest zones. I like to see it to push into the break and retest zone before getting into an entry. They seem to work out better, provide a better risk to reward ratio, and yeah, keeps you in the trade a little bit longer. USD CAD, same thing. It was kind of ugly. It's like, what zone do you work with? Uh, I mean, by all technicality, the cleanest zone is the bottom of the wick. But we'll see how that one actually plays out. And then USD CHF. So USD CHF have this zone here. This would be the last break and retest zone before continuing up. By all technicality, by my standards, this zone has to stay respected. This zone has to stay respected in order to continue to consider this in an uptrend. Good gracious, words are not working for me right now. If this zone is respected, then it's still in an uptrend. We have higher highs and higher lows being respected, and this is the higher low that has made this higher high. And there has not been another higher low created yet. And so it's very, very possible that, and it's still valid, that if price comes down here and plays in this area, it could still make a higher low here. I get a little bit flexible on depending on how price responds around this area, because I do look at them as areas. As some people are hardcore. If it closes below this, then it's considered broken. Some people say if it wicks into this area, then it's considered broken. It really all depends on you and your preference. So I think we hit all the ones that have already been hit. Odd NZD has pushed up into this zone here. As we said, I'm waiting for multiple wick rejections there. It will be a little while. Should I really move that? We'll leave it. It's not going to reset. It did reset it. You stink. Okay, well, we got it down here, actually. So we'll see how this one plays out. If we can get multiple wick rejections on a rollover, then multiple wick rejections would have been what we were looking for already in this area. And so that would look something like so, depending on where the high of this wick is, we'd be looking for something like that. After an entry, if we get a couple of candles that basically create a small range looking thing here on the 30 minutes, range looking thing, then basically what you can look for is like a sell stop down below all these wick areas with your stop loss above that, expecting that if price finally breaks below, it wasn't able to break up higher, but if it finally breaks below, then it's highly likely, based upon the previous candle, that it's going to continue south, at least down to this area here. So we're only going for 1 to 3. So that would be 666. That's a terrible number. Okay. Let's pick that up one. Why not? Yeah. There we go. That makes me feel better. So that would be that. That's odd NZD. GBP JPY price has come back down in here. This would be if it closes bullish like so, then I would take a trade like that. Stop below the double bottom here, and then going for the 1 to 3, depending on where this actually closes. If it closes way up here, no thank you. But if it actually closes within this area here, then we expect the next candle to also go bullish and then possibly get our 1 to 1 click quickly. NZD JPY, we're watching this one. I'll be watching this one and see how it goes. Right now I got nothing. This will probably be the next zone for me. Here, this zone looks bad, so we'll leave that out. So Other than that, I just want to say thank you for watching. If this is your trading journey, then I hope you find favor in all this and all of your other endeavors. And I just wish you well and God bless.